fellow Americans. No. Hello and welcome to the Madison Podcast. I am your host, Ben Lavender, New York's favorite British mortgage broker, as we say all the time, and I feel if I say it enough times, it will be true. Today we have a very special guest, a gentleman I've known for quite a while. We've done some events together, and we've gotten to know each other and formed a little bit of a bromance. Don't tell Joe Sonona, because he will probably kill you first and then kill me for stealing the bromance slot. But yeah, Steve Cheng of Epique Realty, thank you for coming on the show today. A legend and a scholar. Yeah, I'd say a legend and a scholar. Maybe we'll keep gentlemen out, but we'll add that at the end. Okay. So Steve, please tell us or tell the audience who you are, what you do, and why you are such a legend.
Okay, cool. Ben, thank you so much for having me. Huge fan. Love your Instagrams. Love your podcast. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
We've done a bunch of events together, and more to come.
Yes.
Right, and more deals to come. More importantly, more deals to come.
Yeah.
So about me, where do I start? Born, bred, and raised in New York.
Where in New York were you?
Forest Hills.
Oh, cool. Yeah, right here.
Yeah, it was over here in Queens.
I was just at a concert there, Forest Hills Stadium.
Oh, at the stadium?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I know my staff family that lives over there. Like every time there's a concert, there's so much traffic.
I was gonna say they must not like it because it's such a residential neighborhood. The stadium is.
It is. But this is so cool. And there's so much shops. It's a great area.
Yeah.
So yeah, born, bred, and raised. Grew up in Forest Hills. Went to school there. Graduated Forest Hills High School. The year will not disclose that. After that, after that, I went to St. John's University.
Amazing school.
Graduated there, got my comp sci degree, went into computers, believe it or not. So I did computers for like 20 years, and then I got laid off.
As it happens.
Laid off in 2014, and then sadly I couldn't, I made really good money, but I couldn't find a job for even like half my salary.
Oh, wow.
So I was looking around, and then I saw a Groupon for a real estate course. I'm like, oh, wow, NYREI, real estate. I was like, honey, I'm going to check it out. And then I've loved it ever since. It was fantastic. So
it was just randomly you came across the Groupon, and the Groupon was like, well, good discount, but that's what sparked it? Like it wasn't, someone didn't tell you, like, get into real estate?
I've always had affinity for real estate. I've always loved it. I always wanted to become a landlord. I said, you know what? I want to buy a whole bunch of properties, the whole, grow and investment properties. And then knowing it was all these laws, like New York such as a tenant-friendly state, it's quite scary.
Yes.
But, luckily, I've learned a lot, so we know how to navigate that.
Yeah, it's not a good time. I am evicting a tenant right now. Actually, there's a whole to-do, but whatever. Anyway.
Right, exactly. New York, yeah.
So can you talk to us a little bit about, because this I find is always good for people to hear, because the majority of the people in the business aren't crushing it, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless of what Instagram tells you. Mm-hmm. I would say, this is a complete guess on my part, but I would guess maybe 10% of the population makes enough to support a family. The rest are probably part-timers, or they have some other type of income coming in. Mm-hmm. So can you talk about just like kind of your journey, and we'll keep it brief, Steve, because I want to get into Epique as well. But I'm genuinely curious. Talk about the journey from like 10 years ago in the business, your first few years, and to how you got here now, please.
So 10 years ago started, my first year I had 3 deals, and sadly I saw one of those deals die. It was a co-op, and while I thought I found like a great buyer, I found out that the nuances of co-op boards and how strong they are and how they can deny someone for just like that.
Yep.
And it's sad.
For any reason. You don't have to disclose.
For any reason, and they don't have to disclose. Now, I think there are New York state laws that's trying to change that.
Yeah, I believe in Suffolk, there is a law preventing that, but I think it's only Suffolk. And I think it's a good idea too. I know a lot of people that have, it's been denied. Actually, I haven't heard, to be fair, a story about it for a long time, but again, they can deny you for any reason they do politically. It could be racial. It could be anything.
Yep.
It's terrible. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
It's sad, right? So that's why, right? So it's been like that. So just like how bamboo, right? Do you know how bamboo grows? It's like bamboo doesn't grow. It grows for like 7 years, and you would have to water it every day religiously. Take care of the bamboo. But it doesn't sprout from the ground until like 6 years later. And then in that 7th year, it's going to grow a couple inches, and after that, it's going to shoot up.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how my journey began. A lot of foundational work, learned a lot of stuff. I have a ton of letters behind my name, right? ABR, GRI, SRES. I just got SRS, actually, thanks to you and the Joe.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So, yes. Short sales, foreclosures, like a whole bunch. I am such a real estate nerd. And that's why people like me, right? Because I learn, and the more I learn, the better I help and protect people. Right? Protect my clients.
Yeah, you can bring them more value. They see you more as an expert. What would you say your style is when it comes to sales, Steve? Are you more of an analytical, a numbers guy? Or more of like a schmoozy networker? What's your thing?
So I'm a very schmoozy networker. A lot of people like working with me because I'm not pushy, right? I'm not going to say you want buy. You said you like this house, you have to buy it. Sadly, I just had someone actually just at the contract signing stage, where she really liked the house, but then she decided to walk away because it just wasn't for her.
Right.
I told her to think it over for the weekend, and she did. But he goes, it's not it. She wants to go back to her original search, and we'll start from square one. Never pushed her. Did nudge her a little bit, but that's my style.
Sometimes they need a little push here and there if they don't know what's in front of them, right? Because candidly, like, the market better than a consumer. But
Correct.
At the end of the day, like I say this quite a bit, because a lot of salespeople, because we are, a part of our job is selling, right?
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's
Amen.
the whole job, but it's a very big part of it,
Right.
is to really like guide them. Obviously not push aggressively, but I've mentioned this before, that ego-wise, as salespeople, we want to think to ourselves, yes, we convinced the client to get the house, and it was the right house for them, and we're such good salespeople. But the reality is, like, when people are looking to buy a house, they're typically thinking about it for like 2-3 years before they even consider reaching out to a realtor or a lender. It's like we don't have that type of power to convince someone to buy a home, right? We just help guide them, but I do feel that we should give them a little push when they need to. But in this circumstance, you didn't need to. Right, it wasn't the right house for her.
Correct. So my style, like not pushy. And when we were going to contract and she was like, make an offer, I was like, are you sure? Because this is not what we first set out for.
Right.
And are you sure you want to pursue this path? So I questioned it at first. And he goes, yeah, I've been looking a long time. Like, don't give up, because there's still a ton of houses. And then she's like, I wanna go into contract with this house. So we went that route, and then she was coming up with all these things like why it wasn't good, why it wasn't good. All right, then we'll just step back.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to square one, and I have no problem with that. Main thing for me is always, a lot of my clients turn into friends. Right? And I enjoy that.
Those are the best type of friends to have.
Exactly. They're so good, right? There was a client that I just helped sell his house in Bayside, and he was like, Steve, now you're part of the family. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, like, I'm invited, like, just, and you can see me, I like to eat. So
especially if we see your Instagram or your Facebook too. Every day it's like, Steve freaking eats, man, and he's got good taste.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta hit a spot.
We definitely do.
Yeah, there's so many. We live in New York. It's just an infinite amount of
so
places.
much good food.
Yeah, we try and go, like, with my fiance and I, Miriam, we try and go like somewhere new every week or two, but it's just the list is never ending, and everything is so damn good. All right, so Steve, talk to us about Epique, please.
Epique. So,
yes, obviously Epique is Epique, but I don't know much about the company other than I know you and obviously a few of your team members as well that I've met, who are awesome, by the way. Just you have good taste.
yes. They are great guys. So that's what. So I'm growing Epique. Epique is a national company. They started in Texas. Josh, Chris Meller, and Janice. Right, Janice Dillset. Fantastic founders of the company. They do a founder session every Wednesday. I think it's 12 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, come watch it. It's on epiquezoom.com. So more about Epique. Epique is a growing company. I can tell you in January 1 of this year, 2024, there was like 500 agents across the U.S. I joined in May 1st.
So what was it that made you decide to join?
What made me decide to join was how revolutionary this company is, right? And this is such a giving company. When I send you the list, they give so much. They give. Myself am a giver.
Yeah.
So to meet a company that gives a lot, I just loved it.
Right.
And then I was like, I learned more. And then I found out that, wow, this company, they give so much back to the agents so that we can help our clients. And then I find out that they're going to IPO in 2026.
Oh, they're going to IPO.
They're going to IPO.
Okay.
So where I can take part of my commission check and I can take 10% of that and buy additional Epique stock, pre-IPO prices. So right now, I'm buying shares at 53 cents a piece. When the IPOs, let's just say $5 or $10, you're making 10, 20 times that money.
Right.
Is there a possibility it goes down? There straight is, right? But at 53 cents, fine, it goes down, it goes down.
Yeah,
but
how much is it going to go down
right.
to?
Yeah, so. But then there's that same sentiment. There's that possibility where it shoots up to 100, right? And that's my goal, right? My goal is to
well, you obviously wouldn't join the company if you didn't see it going that way. And with your experience, I would say that you're a good judge of that, right? You've been around, you've been in the business for a while. Like you have a taste for what a good company is, a bad company is, etc. So that's what essentially attracted you to them,
correct?
Right? Can you talk about like kind of the team setup? Why would an agent want to join Epique? What's kind of, how are you guys different from, let's say, an EXP, for example, or whatever?
EXP, so it's funny that you bring that up. So I would say that Epique is probably like EXP Lite. That right now, think about this. We're building, a big hotel business building in the middle of Times Square. And a lot of people are, like myself, are jumping in at the ground floor.
Right.
And the grand picture is to have this 100-story high-rise. Right? We're jumping in. This is a fantastic opportunity, right? What do I provide? I am the team leader for the Steve Cheng team. I am the area leader for all of Queens, Long Island, and part of New York City. Yeah. So I'm helping Epique grow. I help mentor and coach my guys. I have guys joining every week. I have people joining in upstate New York.
So hold on, Steve. Before you continue, please.
Yes.
I think mentoring is a really big thing, actually, and I would argue that basically anyone that joins the business needs mentorship. So can you elaborate on that, please? What does mentoring your team look like?
Okay, so mentoring on my team. I know in other companies where they recruit you and they just leave you there. My thing is I don't want to leave you there. I want to help you. I want to help you grow. The whole thing for me to make Epique stronger is to help each and every individual grow. Because if I overpromise, then it's just not going to work out.
Right.
So that's one of my mantras is always to underpromise, overdeliver. I want each of my guys to make a substantial amount of money so that they can say, wow, you know what, joining Steve Cheng's team, joining Epique was fantastic. Right. And because of that, because I had faith in Steve that he helped me grow, I love that.
Yeah, they need it, right? And it's like, it's everyone in this business should have some, even myself. I know I've told you, Steve, I have 2 mortgage coaches, and I have, depending on the day or the month, I have like 2 or 3 mentors, right? And I also mentee, and I'm actually starting to do a little coaching myself.
That is cool.
So yeah, it just kind of happened very recently out of the blue, honestly. So it's part of the game. How many people are on the team currently in New York?
On my personal team is 10 in New York.
Oh, that's big.
Right? So
it's a big team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But a lot of, like you said earlier, half of them are that have full-time jobs. I have a couple that's full-times. So those full-times are the ones like helping me grow. I have a young lady that's gonna help me with a couple clients in Manhattan.
Nice.
So my team like spans all New York City, all the boroughs. I have a team out in Riverhead. I personally do like Queens, Nassau. I even drive out to Suffolk.
Yeah, you do pretty wherever the business is. Okay, so what I wanted to chat about as well in regards to Epique, I want to get a little bit more granular, essentially, with how you see like the journey of Epique. Let's say that someone joins today. Like, let's say Ben Lavender became an agent. Maybe I'll do that. And what would the first few months look like for me as a new member of Epique?
Let's just say with this scenario, how many years of experience do you have as an
Let's say I'm brand new.
You're brand new?
I just got my license, yeah.
So right now, learning is such an essential part of the thing, right? And luckily for you, actually, you also have a lot. You're giving. You're such a giving person. That's why I like you too, right?
Appreciate that.
You're doing like the ABRs, the SRES. You're hosting it, right? In your office space. Take advantage of these situations. Like there's so many letters, right, that help distinguish and give you certifications that help you build. Building foundation is always really strong for me. As a new agent, also, I have a couple listings coming up. Ridgewood, Little Neck, I'm all over. Right?
It's good areas too.
Fantastic. And you get to help shadow me. I'll teach you the ins and outs of everything, and I'll guide you through it. Right? I'm not going to give you anything, but I want you to learn. The more you
Steve,
learn,
that's giving.
Yeah.
It may not be something physical, but you're giving experience.
100%.
The average person that is like coming into the business doesn't even know like how a transaction like looks, right? So like you mentioned it very nonchalantly, but shadowing is huge, right? Shadowing is essentially how I learned in the mortgage business. I used to just follow the processes around and see how they, a transaction goes, follow the salespeople and just see. It's massive. And it's like, I think I've had agents literally tell me, like, I just need someone to shadow because I don't know what's going on. And a lot of people are promised, you join this, and that, and you'll get all of this stuff, and then they join and it's a different story. They get let down, their momentum goes from here to there. But with you guys, that's not happening, right? Because you're active.
We're very active, and I try to tell them, right? And it is a hard business, right? It's not easy. I will expect you to make calls. At minimum, call, door knock, talk to people, network. You have to do something or post.
So I wanted to elaborate on that,
Yes.
Steve. On an average day for you, how many people are you in contact with? Whether that's talking to people on social media or outbound calls or networking events.
There are days, on average day, like 20, and it's a big range. There's like, there are days, slow days 20, bigger days like 50. There are days I hit 100.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I think that's really something that people don't realize. If you audited your own day, and I even should do this to myself more often because I'm similar to you, right? Sometimes I have a slow day. My slow day is much slower than your slow day. But 20 a day is great. But so let's say that in a day of these 50 people, right, which is an average, right? How many of them are new contacts that you've never spoken to versus like, maintaining relationships, so to speak?
So for me, I find speaking to people that I already know or at least met before helps a lot more.
Right.
I'm not good with just new contacts because then there's no relationship.
Of course.
I like somewhat of a relationship, maybe cool, lukewarm, then I can build from that.
Yeah, well, you have to. If you have a new relationship, you have to follow up with them and stay in
100%.
a place. It's part of it, but it's a huge thing. Is like we should audit our days and see how many people that we're actually speaking to. The average person would be shocked because in their head they're probably like, like listening to you. Yeah, I talk to 50 people a day. They probably speak to 3.
Yes.
Right, and they don't realize, and your mama doesn't count. Right, you have to speak to like new people or people that can send you business. And if you're lucky, yes, your mom can send you business.
Yeah, exactly.
But talking to your mom every day doesn't count. So
Yes.
Okay. Steve, any final thoughts on Epique before I get into? I want to get into a few other things I have here actually.
Couple.
We'll make it quick. I know we don't have a ton of time.
So yeah, we're a new up and coming company. The split. Everyone always wants to know the split. 85-15.
Oh, that's aggressive.
So it is aggressive, right? So at 85-15, and the cap is also 85-15. So on day one when I joined Epique, you get 50 free shares of stock. 50 free shares, and our cap is 85-15, $15,000 cap. Okay, come your first anniversary year, it becomes 86-14, right? 87-13, all the way. So every anniversary year,
I've
all the
never
way
heard
to
of that.
90-10.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
So we appreciate longevity.
And
right?
it goes all the way to 99.
90-10.
90-10. Got
Yep.
it. Yeah, it's aggressive.
Yeah.
It's and just for staying on,
Just
which
for
is
staying
smart
on.
too, because you give people an incentive or essentially a reward for loyalty.
Correct.
That's a great way to do it. I love that. Okay. Anything else before I ask you just a couple rando questions?
Nope. Shoot. Go for it.
Okay. What is the weirdest thing a buyer or seller has ever asked you to do? Try and keep it short.
Weirdest thing that...
The weirdest, yeah.
The weirdest. You know, it's funny, actually. So I just had a call literally this morning that she asked me to do my commission on trade. So trade is like bartering system. So believe it or not, their like bartering system is still live and thriving in Long Island and other parts of the country. I hear like New Jersey, like Virginia. A lot of people have, with smaller businesses, they do bartering. I can do bartering as well.
Yeah.
So that was like the last request that literally this morning.
For what type of business did they have?
She wants me to sell her house in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I have to do a base of probably $5,000, $550, and then I can barter the rest.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah.
A base of
what? $5,000.
Yeah.
Right? And then I will barter the rest.
But for what? What is she giving you?
Barter points. So like 20,000 barter points.
Oh,
I
so
can
like,
use that
like barter points as a currency.
as a currency. Yeah.
With who else can you use that with?
There is a whole bartering system. I think there's like 20,000 businesses that out on line. There's food. I think Club
I had no
Sagar.
idea. This is the first time I'm hearing of this.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So Club Sagar. There's a couple of restaurants in Nassau and Suffolk that do this. There's a wills and trust attorneys. You can do a trust with barter. It's a whole new industry.
Okay, I had absolutely no idea.
And
I wish we had more
doors.
time to talk about this, but once we're done, I'm going to quiz you. Well, not quiz you. I'm going to interrogate you.
Yeah.
Okay. What is a hobby or a thing that people are surprised to learn about you?
Oh, fun fact. I'm such a huge nerd. So, yes. Two things. One, huge poker player. Love playing poker.
I didn't know.
Been to a couple of poker tournaments.
I have to invite you to our poker nights. Not that we
do
do
you?
them often. Yeah, we do them once a year. Yeah,
okay.
Often, but yeah, you'll come to the next one.
Done. I'll be there. And I'll probably just donating a bunch.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Just hanging out, right, with people and just like, yeah.
Poker's a good game.
Yes.
At least it's cerebral too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge board gaming nerd.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like half my clientele are board gamers.
Really?
Yeah. Like, and not just like, Sorry and Monopoly and Clue. There's like a whole new like next level board gaming fascination, like Frosthaven and...
I had no idea, Steve. You're making me aware of all this stuff. Okay, next one.
Yes.
Has there been a book, podcast, or some type of medium or media that has changed your life in the business that you really recommend?
So when I got laid off, I probably read maybe 10 books during that time. No, prior to getting laid off.
Yeah.
Since I got laid off, like it's like a whole new chapter. And I probably read, at one time I was reading like a book a week. And like, Napoleon Hill, like, I loved Art of War. I love Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I tried reading Art of War given I was 17 or 16. It was tough to get through.
Read it again. I think you'll really enjoy it, right? That was like fantastic books. And I read like Rich Dad Poor Dad several times.
Great book.
And like each time I read it, I get something new out of it. So that's someone I definitely encourage. I encourage a lot of my interns to read it too. I encourage my new agents to read it, because you'll definitely get something from there that I might not be able to teach you, and I'm hoping you learn from it so that you can grow your business.
It's also, I find books in general, and you could even, definitely say audiobooks as well, as a really good way of brainwashing yourself in a positive way. Because if you're listening to Robert Kiyosaki all day or reading Robert Kiyosaki all day, after a while, like that language and mindset dips in, right? It does. Like, for instance, I spent a few weeks listening to Hormozi's books, Alex Hormozi's books, and it's just like, and it was my mortgage coach that told me to do it. He's like, we're not having you listen to it so you can become this international marketer sensation, right? I mean, unless that's what you want. It's really just to frame your mind in a different way, look at things from a different angle. And I think new people in the business need that badly. It is really, really powerful, especially because they feel like alone, they don't really know where to go. So you've got your mentorship, your coach with you, and then they can still get it outside, because you're battling as a person in the business every day whatever is going on outside your life that is non-business related with what's in. So if you can shift the focus to more business-minded stuff by, again, reading books, listening to audiobooks, whatever the case may be, your chances of winning increase. So
100%.
that's a huge one.
100% agree with you. And let me add to that.
Please.
I was just speaking with a young agent, a new agent yesterday, and she's probably going to join my team. I'm not pushing her to, but she's reviewing all the notes and everything regarding Epique. And I told her what I want her to start doing is to watch podcasts, right?
Yep.
Podcasts specifically for like Tony Robbins, Simon Sinek, Gary Vee, right? And, you know, as you were saying, like, surround yourself with positivity. Positive affirmations help a lot.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, sometimes it depends when you're doing it as well. I don't know about you, but sometimes I like to do my positive affirmations in the morning when I'm driving and I'm blasting music.
Yes.
It's like, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Is that the rock one?
I don't know. No, I think that's more of the what is it? The Matthew McConaughey Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, Wolf of Wall Street. That was incredible. That was a great show.
Great movie.
Yeah,
great movie. Lots of drama behind that.
Yes.
It makes me think of all the P. Diddy drama, which is I'm having so much fun
That's
with it.
interesting. Like
Yeah.
okay.
It's hilarious, but whatever. Grown adults, with the exception of illegal stuff, is obviously bad. All right, we are wrapped. Steve Cheng, the man, the myth, the legend, the gangster, or maybe not a gangster, but a great guy.
Not anymore. Pleasure. Thank you.
That's great.